welcome back. It's time for this week's Capitol Report with Pat McGuigan of CapitolBeatOK.com. Pat, you recently reported on a critique of a 1-cent sales tax increase for education. Only this was one that took place more than 30 years ago, and it was in Arkansas.
Yeah, it was a rather hefty session hosted by Oklahoma Council of Public Affairs. Although the audience was diverse, conservatives and liberals were present. The talk was by Greg Kaza, who is the hardworking policy guy at the Arkansas Policy Foundation. And he rolled the clock back to the early 1980s when Hillary Clinton was chairman of the Educational Standards Commission, or committee, for the state of Arkansas on behalf of her husband, then Governor Bill Clinton. She said a 1-cent sales tax would improve schools, would raise standards, and create more jobs. Her husband focused on that rather than job creation per se. Taxes were increased on the poor and the middle class, and educational attainment did not go up. And the economic record from it was very murky and very mixed. It's a cautionary tale for Oklahomans as petitioners, petition gatherers, enter the field to support Governor David Boren's, OU President David Boren's initiative petition to do the same thing, increase sales tax. Because of the regressionary or backward effect of sales taxes, that's one of the reasons that an interesting coalition of city officials, policy liberals, and conservatives all are concerned about the 1-cent tax hike idea.
No doubt, and then something we'll be talking about
more.
Yeah. Here's, of course, we're talking a lot about this, but very soon voters in Iowa and New Hampshire will begin the formal process of nominating a presidential candidate for the two major parties. The Oklahoma presidential primary is now, what, about a month and a half away.
Right.
From your perspective, give us kind of a thumbnail of where things stand.
Well, there's national members of the Republican National Committee who are calling for GOP officials around the country to rally against Trump, against Donald Trump. I have to say, the other night, I think he got the better of an exchange over so-called New York values with Ted Cruz. On the other hand, Cruz defended himself, weathered the storm, if you will, on the so-called birther argument about whether or not he's eligible. Rubio did pretty well. He's coming across a little harsh, which kind of goes contrary to, you know, his persona and style, so we'll see where that goes. Here in Oklahoma, Rubio has the most support from public officials. Trump has polled well. Cruz has strong backing from varied conservative organizations who know how to turn people out. I think that for the Republicans, it could be a bit like 1976 in that the argument and the debate goes south after New Hampshire and it's still a live issue. On the other side, Bernie Sanders has gone from 15% to around 40% since August in the national polling. In one or two polls, he was just slightly ahead. Others, he's slightly behind in Iowa. I think that Hillary Clinton looks weaker at this point than she did at this point in the 2008 campaign. That's remarkable. She'll win the Oklahoma Democratic primary, but nationally she's facing some headwinds.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, you can read more about these and other topics at CapitolBeatOK.com. For Pat McGuigan, I'm Alex Cameron. Have a great day.